and finally loaded. Let's just click that. Here. That's good there. Then we should be good on quorum, right? Are we good on quorum? Okay, I see Kelly just came in. Let me just share my screen and we can get started. I'd like to go ahead and call this meeting to order at 12:05 p.m. And we'll start off with a roll call. I'm here, Chris. Chris, are you here?
Oh, here? Sorry. Yeah,
No
I'm here. Sorry.
Christina?
Here.
Louise?
Here.
Michael?
Here.
Alex?
Here.
Jasmine?
Here.
Philly?
Here.
Kelly?
Here.
Emmanuel?
Present.
Kyle?
Here.
And I see David just joined us right on time when we call your name. David, you want to say here for the record?
Here.
All right, thank you. Now that we've established quorum, before we proceed any further, I do want to acknowledge we are conducting business on the native land of the Hahamunga tribe of the Tongva Nation and offer a moment of silence for those who came before us. All right, we can go ahead and move on then to the approval of the agenda for April 28th, 2021. I have it up here in front of you all. You should all have access to it as well. As you can see, we have a pretty short agenda for today. But if there's anything that needs to be edited or changed, please let me know so we can make those changes. If everything looks good, then I'd like to entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
I motion to approve.
I
Second.
second.
All right, we have a first and a second. Sorry. Do we have any opposed? No. Any abstentions? Hearing none, agenda has been approved. Let me go ahead and pull up the minutes for April 21st. Same as the agenda. If there's anything that needs to be edited or changed, please let me know. But if everything looks good, then we can go ahead and approve the minutes.
I make a motion to approve the minutes.
All right, thank you, Jasmine. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second.
All right, now that we have a first and second, do we have any opposed? Any abstentions? No. Hearing none, the minutes have been approved. Let me go ahead and close that tab there so I don't accidentally click on it. We can go ahead and move on to public comment on non-agenda items, and I believe we do have a member of the public here with us today.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for allowing me to speak. I am Vera Vergel de Dios. I am the health educator for Student Health Services. I had brought to Carrie's attention that we are doing a few activities for Mental Health Awareness Month that I wanted to share with AS. If anybody is interested in participating, can I share my screen or? Okay, there's a few things. I'll start with the first one actually, and this is, I'm not sure if everybody knows about the Mind Body Workshop series that's happening this semester. It was set up by Dr. Olivo, and Student Health is helping coordinate all of it. And it is, it says module 2 of 4, so there are a few modules, but it's not like you need to have been present for the first one in order to attend the second one. But this is just a self-care series for everybody in the community. Students and staff are welcome to participate. So I just wanted to bring it up first of all, in preparation for Mental Health Awareness Month, that we do want to help people focus and process through any emotions that they're having. And so these are a series set that I'm happy to share with. I'm not sure who I would share it with, actually. I apologize. Who would I forward this to?
Probably you should send it to Mackenzie and she can send it out to everyone else.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
There's registration for it. The next one is May 13th and May 19th. And then it continues on into June. And again, it is available for anybody, anybody. So please feel free to share wide, and you are welcome to attend as well. The activity that I wanted to talk about was Mental Health Awareness Month is in May. And we have a few activities and workshops happening. So this is just a flyer, please. It's a draft. So I'm not necessarily ready to share it with you all. I will share it with Mackenzie when it's ready. But I wanted to bring to your awareness a few workshops that are happening. We aren't necessarily the ones hosting them, except for the self-care strategies, but they are important workshops that are happening in the month of May through the community college system. And one of our psychologists is presenting at one of the workshops. So we wanted to also, again, bring awareness to the importance of mental health and how to support yourself during this month. And then below are the activities that we will be doing. And the ones that I'd like to bring up is called Erase the Stigma Challenge. So this was really successful last year, where people would write the word stigma on their hand and then record themselves washing away stigma so that we can erase the stigma of mental health. So this was a fun challenge that people did. If you would like to participate, I would love to have your participation. If you would send me recordings of less than 15 seconds of you washing away stigma, I think it's a great message to send to everybody about talking about mental health. And then the next one that we are doing is called Cognito Day on Wednesday, May 12th. And this is a day where we're trying to bring awareness to Cognito, which is a free program that we have here at PCC, learning about awareness, knowledge, and skills regarding mental health and suicide prevention. So it's a training for gatekeepers who are interested in learning about these things. And Cognito Day is a day where you take a selfie of yourself with your certificate to show that you are learning more about mental health and how to support those in crisis as a gatekeeper. So similarly, if you do the training and take a selfie of yourself, I'd love to have it so we could, again, share it with others to continue to bring awareness to mental health, but also this free resource that we have at PCC. So that's May 12th. And then finally on May 22nd, we're trying to get something together called Self-Care Saturday Drive-Through, where students can come pick up a self-care kit and groceries. We're partnering with Lancer Pantry for that. So we're in the midst of organizing that. That's still in the works. So I can't 100% say that that's going to happen, but we're still in the works. Otherwise, Wednesday, May 5th and Wednesday, May 12th are two great activities that I hope associated students can participate in. And that's it for me. Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming today and sharing this with us. And I'm looking forward to all of these activities.
Thanks, Mackenzie. I will send whatever I have when it's ready.
All right,
Take care.
thank you so much. And I'll go ahead and bring back up the agenda. And I believe that was the only public comment we have, unless if someone could check the YouTube for me real quick. Please and thank you.
There's nothing on the YouTube.
All right, we can go ahead and move on to agenda item 3, board reports. We'll go based off the order I see you on my screens. And so first up, we have Michael. Do you have anything you'd like to report?
No report.
All right, thank you, Michael. Up next, we have Emmanuel. Do you have anything you would like to report?
Yes, thank you. So I was able to attend last week and this week the Supreme Council and Lobbying Committee meetings. I got to see the way they operate and give some public comments and feedback on some of their discussions. I also attended the Tutors of Color retreat on Friday, which I was invited by Sylvia Talauk, a professor at PCC and one of the chairs from the Facility Standing Committee. I'll be attending the Facility Standing Committee and Health and Safety Committee joint meeting this Thursday at 10, as well as the Sustainability Committee working group as well tomorrow at noon. And for committee reports, I had our food justice event yesterday. Special thanks to Dr. Hatch for such a well-developed presentation and to our guests for attending. And our next AS Sustainability Committee meeting is to be determined. That's it. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Emmanuel. Up next on my screen, we have Kyle. Do you have anything you'd like to report?
Sure. I have a couple things. The first thing was we had our last Supreme Council meeting this previous week. Emmanuel and Philly were present, and that went pretty well. We approved most of our items on our agenda. A couple ones we didn't approve were the ones we were discussing, which namely is the anti-discrimination amendment, which I think is on the agenda today. And with that said, we're also working on pro-con statements. These are the accompanying statements that go with all the proposed amendments for the Constitution. And those will be on the election ballot itself for the students to look at. And next, I set up a meeting with the Transfer Center finally. It took them about a week and a half to get back to me for the last segment of the podcast, which should be up soon. And I invited the CEO of Locker. That was the Locker company that I told reached out to me. And for our next session, which once we decide if we like them or not, we can forward it on to our campus partners and different groups on campus. And if we don't like them, we just stop there. But he's willing to come into our next session next week. And that's that, and that'll be in the agenda. And there was no other committee reports, and so I have nothing else. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Kyle. Up next on my screen, we have Jasmine. Do you have anything you'd like to report?
Yes, so everyone. I'd like to start with my report mentioning the African American and Black Student Success Week that's going on this week. I know that some of the events that are going on are like during my class time, but it does help if we show up at least for a few minutes, say hello. So I just want to recommend that to you all. Moving forward with my board report, I attended the Student Success Committee yesterday, and we went through a lot of really important details. Except I'm sad to say that my internet wasn't really cooperating with me yesterday, so I missed the last end of the committee meeting. But before that, we had an intro to Dr. Bolin, which I'm going to be working with very closely starting this month, just surrounding the topics of equity and inclusion. So that's going to be really, really helpful before I transition on to the next thing. So I also wanted to share the AAPI calendar to you all. I'll put it in the chat as well. There is a few events starting next month regarding the AAPI community and solidarity for them as we transition into the month of Asian American and Pacific Islander celebration. And then we also got to see some of the student perspective regarding PCC Connect. As I remember sharing with you all, there's a lot of information and a lot of really helpful links through PCC Connect that really help and bridge a lot of communication issues that we might have during this remote time. So make sure you check that out. As for my committee reports, we will be meeting tomorrow. We will be submitting a statement on Lancer Life regarding the Denim Day, which is today. So in honor of Denim Day, we will be talking a little bit about what it is, why it's important, and just bringing forth a lot of light into Sexual Assault Awareness Month. And that's it for my report.
All right, thank you so much, Jasmine. Up next on my screen, we have Alex. Do you have anything you'd like to report?
Sorry, my mic was being weird. Nothing to report.
All right, up next we have Chris. Do you have anything you'd like to report?
So not really much going on this week. ICC is kind of honestly winding down, which is good. I think everybody is situated now, and I am looking forward to, the next step. With that said, though, there is no ICC meeting this week. there is no funding committee meeting this week, but there will be one next week. For those of you who are aware, or maybe not, there is an ICC train that was supposed to happen this Friday at 12 p.m. with Alex, but I have moved that to next week at 2 p.m. Considering Carrie's also super busy on Friday with the candidates meeting there. But that's pretty much it. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Chris. Up next, we have Christina. Do you have anything you'd like to report?
Hi, everyone. Hope everyone has been doing well. Last week on Friday, I went to the calendar committee meeting and we basically just went over commencement. And in that meeting, we kind of just changed the date to June 12th, just because I know that, or during the meeting, it was discussed that I believe Caltech was also having a graduation at that time, which is why we moved it. And with that being said, I also know that if you guys want to graduate, I believe May 24th is like or if you want to walk during graduation, May 24th is the last date to sign up. And then I believe if you want to have like a graduation cap and gown, I believe the date is May 16th. But other than that, that's all I have to report.
All right. Thank you, Christina. Up next on my screen, we have Kelly. Do you have anything you'd like to report?
Yes. Okay. So I just wanted to mention that we are almost finally passing our federal legislation. I know it's been a long time coming and I keep saying it every week, but there are some difficulties in trying to sort out which ones have already passed House, which ones have passed Senate, and which ones we were going to lobby on both, and either one, putting it into folder, putting it into talking points. There are so many minutiae into it, and debating the specific bills and the importance and the urgency of them took a long time. And I really appreciate Carrie for being there. And it was kind of my fault. We ran out of time in terms of voting. We did get one bill on there. We'll begin voting on the other ones soon, by next Monday. That's just an update on that. And we do have all of our contacts for our legislators. So we will be starting emailing, contacting lobby visits right on next Monday. So that's going to be the first thing on our party list. Secondly, I've been in the office a few times to mail out those the goodie bags from our legislation town hall. Honestly, like sometimes you think, wow, like 40, 40 people is not that many. But when you start mailing them, you realize that's actually a lot. So that's actually been really cool. I made like a little letter to include in it. So hopefully they should be seeing their goodie bags within a few weeks, along with like a little note from AS. Yeah, so that's just an update if you guys are curious as to what's going on with like the t-shirts. You guys probably weren't wondering, but just wanted to give you guys an update. Yeah, that's all from me.
All right. Thank you, Kelly. Up next on my screen, we have Philly. Do you have anything you'd like to report?
Yes, of course, Mackenzie. So I'd like to report that I attended Lobby Committee and Supreme Council, and I was pleasantly surprised on Monday when I went to coffee and tea with Trustee Chen Lao, and I ended up seeing Emmanuel and Jasmine there already talking to her. And so that was pretty cool to see that our executive board is out there and doing things. And I also went to the strategic planning committee. I was continuing of the hiring committee as well. So we had like a 2-hour session on crafting the interview stuff. And we just did miscellaneous graphics for student services and posted Emmanuel's graphics. So good job on that. That's it for my reports, but for committee reports, I'm so proud of my children. 2 of my committee members got into Berkeley, so I'm so proud of them. And we also, last Monday, had a very relaxing meeting, listened to lo-fi, and planned some stuff for the future. And last thing is that everybody in my committee is trained, and they're all living their lives, and I'm so happy for them. So that's it.
All right. Thank you, Philly. Up next on my screen, we have David. Do you have anything you'd like to report?
Hello, everyone. Got a couple things here. So in terms of legislative visits this past week, me and Kelly and the trustees and Dr. Andrew Jonas have been meeting with several legislators this past week to go over financial aid reform, ethnic studies, and other bills that are important to BCC. So we've met with Senator Portantino, the Office of Assemblymember Holden. We met with Congresswoman Judy Chu, We're supposed to meet with the Office of Assembly Member Chow and also hopefully meet with Congressman Adam Schiff. So we've been doing that. And then last week was the Board of Trustees meeting. And at that meeting, we actually elected new officers of the board. So the new board president is now Trustee Berlinda Brown. Our new vice president is Linda Wall, and then our clerk is Tammy Silber. So very notably, all of the officers on our board are women. A lot of our presidents at our college actually are women now. So I just wanted to point that out again, because I think that's really cool. Let's see what else. I guess last Thursday I presented with the trustees and the superintendent president at some webinar about the relationship that student leaders at our school have with our CEOs and other campus leaders, because believe it or not, our college does a really good job compared, at least in comparison to other schools, in terms of always making sure that we're included in conversations and decision making. So it was just something that we highlighted at the state level. So it was really great to see. And I think that's it.
All right, thank you, David. And last but not least, we have Louise. Do you have anything you'd like to report?
Hi, everyone. Let me know if my audio is spotty. I am currently outside, but I do have something to report. I met with Dan this past Monday. We've been working closely on the AAPI Open Mic Night for students to kind of share their voices and empower themselves and their community. And AAPI, as well as, is open to allies who would like to show their support and solidarity on our campus as well. And so that will be coming up May 20th again, and from 6 to 7 p.m. They are still currently working on the flyer, but I will distribute it as soon as it's ready. Other things, we are also, Student Services Committee is also putting together the Student Services Fair, and we are moving forward on the date of May 13th from 3 to 4:30 p.m. And we have been getting emails back, so hopefully that'll be a really fun event in the lineup of student services. So there'll be a breakdown of just 5-minute introductions of these programs, and then the last half hour will be Q&As or a breakout room session. And as well as my committee members, I'm so proud of them for putting together events of their own, like Mother's Day, celebrating important mother figures, which is on May 5th, I believe, the Thursday just before Mother's Day. So come out to that. I am thankful to Philly for putting together all these graphics. So they'll be coming out soon. And I will also be attending the OER meeting at 1, so I'll be leaving early today. But that's all. Thank you, everyone.
All right, thank you, Louise. As for my own report, I don't have too much since I was out of commission the last week, but I was productive. I did do the training for Chris at ICC on Friday at 2. There wasn't too many people, but I feel like we had a really good discussion after the presentation was done with everybody about leadership and what it's like trying to do it through the pandemic and like what it means to be a leader. So that was a really fun conversation. It's on YouTube, so if anyone wants to go watch it, you can. I went to Board of Trustee with David, but I think he pretty much covered everything that happened there. I also attended student success meeting with Jasmine. She did cover a good chunk of what happened. We did get an introduction to Dr. Bolin, which was really nice to see her again. We talked about some of the goals that the committee has and just checking if there was any updates that needed to be made to it. That was the majority of the discussion that took place after Jasmine left. She did a good job of covering what did happen for the part she was there for. And then I have a meeting coming up, my monthly meeting coming up with Erica. That's going to be fun. This meeting is actually going to be a social distance in person, and there's going to be some free breakfast. And so that's going to be interesting to go to, since I haven't seen most of them in person for a very long time. So that's all I have for my own report. We can go ahead and move on to advisor reports. Whoever wants to go first.
Okay. So congratulations to everyone who has gotten in. I know that the announcements came out on Friday for Berkeley. I know folks are waiting for UCLA. But congratulations to you all. Hopefully when you feel, let me know. We love to toot our own horn and let folks know who's doing what. Couple of things, I just kind of reiterate what a lot of folks are saying. I put something in the chat. Philly, there is an event for the AAPI group that's coming up this Friday, and I put that link in the chat. And so they're hoping that, they're asking if you could help out by putting that out on our Instagram feed. And I know Veer would really appreciate some help with AS kind of stepping up and doing the kind of the lead on the wash away stigma, and kind of leading that by putting it out there so folks, you know, kind of follow your lead on that. So if you all could look at that, and Philly, I know Mackenzie, once you get it, please send it to Philly. If we can lead that, I think it's important for students to see and hear from you as leaders what's happening. So especially for the stigma with mental health. So lots of stuff happening because everyone is realizing now we're in May, but I'll be quite honest with you, I feel like the entire school is just holding their breath and hoping to get us past into graduation. So as we come up on a lot of that, I just, you know, Jordan does this better than I, but y'all need to take care of yourself. I know for myself, I'm juggling several different things, and it's really hard to get back to everything. So make sure you take care of what you need to take care of and prioritize those things that need to get done. And don't forget, the students do need you. So I know it's hard, but we need you to step up and make sure that we're still doing things and getting stuff out to them. So as Christina talked about, graduation is coming. Please go to the website. The website's got the most updated dates. There's all these different dates going on. And it's all about, you know, if you want to buy a cap and gown, if you want to register to participate, it's going to be a drive-through thing. Christina, I did ask Dean Cobb for a space for AS so that we could give out the t-shirts and whatever you're going to buy, whatever you all are talking about buying. So she's agreed. She says, where do you want it? The quad? And I'm like, I don't know. Give us the quad. So we'll have that. What this means, though, is that Christina's graduating, right? So please, for those of you who are not graduating, would you please consider finding committee members to help staff that booth? That means we need some folks who are going to give away stuff, who are going to be high energy. We'll probably put them all in some maroon and gold. We'll get the little Lancer Life, Larry the Lancer out, just really kind of making it special. And we'll probably need some help decorating, blowing up balloons. God, we haven't done this in forever. We'll be on campus and doing an actual event. So if you are not graduating, I would ask that you please consider just making sure that you are free on June the 12th. June the 12th, which is graduation. And yeah, make sure that, and see if you can get some people from your committee. If we get like 12 people working on it, it's going to be fantastic. But again, I don't have the dates at my fingertips, but please do look at your the website. Questions that have come up, you do not need to have a cap and gown to participate in the drive-through. You can come through on your own. They're changing the rules. I mean, where we will be in June with COVID rules, unfortunately, well, the governor is going to throw the state open on the 15th, not the 12th. So we still are under certain rules. But like if you want to come with a friend and you're both fully vaccinated and you're wearing a mask, I think that's fine. If you want to come in the same car, roll down your windows, just be cautious. So please make sure that, you know, that information is out there. The other thing that's been coming up, I got an email from I know renting a bus. You can have a big trolley cart, like a golf cart. I've been getting emails from different folks who are, you know, different concerns. And one was from a student who was concerned. He just found out that there's no winter intersession. So, and he's very concerned. And I explained to him the history of what we went through, how, you know, we fought this for 2 years and things like that. But what that leads me to tell is that the word's not getting out to students. So all of you, if you will work on your committees, mention it in classes. Again, I hate to throw everything on Philly, but maybe Christina or Louise can work, have someone in their committee create a flyer or an Instagram post that they can send to Philly's folks to post, just reminding people that there is no winter intersession. So those classes that you are planning on taking for winter intersession to count towards transfer, you need to take them during summer intersession now. So don't count on winter being, you know, the message that needs to go out is don't count on winter being there. Take the classes, during summer. All right, because now's the time that people are signing up. I have no idea where it's been posted. And I don't, the college is just doing a kind of a minimal thing. It's one of those things that, you know, we've got so many students who come and go. They're just always going to assume that winter session is going to be there, and then they're going to pop back up and whoops, winter is gone. So let's make sure that we get it out there. So other things that we're working on next week. So a couple things next week. I'm taking Tuesday off. Don't call me, don't text me, don't email me. I'm not going to respond to you all. I'll talk to you all on Wednesday. Talk to you on Monday, but not on Tuesday. Also this Friday, just so you know, I've told who's coming in, Chris and Louise. The office is actually going to be closed. So many of you remember Carol Brown and what happened with her, unfortunately, in early April. The family has finally been able to organize a funeral, and so the office will be closed. We're going to all go to her funeral service. So the office will be closed on Friday. So please don't come by. And again, I'll be working in the morning. I'll be probably not available from 10 to 2. Then I'll be available in the afternoon. Just so you know with that. Also, we're running a lot of different things going on. We have closed the application for elections. We've got a good group running. There's a few hitches and hiccups, but I think we'll work those out. We will begin campaigning on May 1st. So a word of advice and warning about campaigning. In the past, when we were in the office, it was much more of an issue, but now I just still need to remind you that for those of you that are running for office and are currently sitting on the board, and those of you that may be friends or supporting anyone who's running, you have to remember you need to keep the two worlds separate. You cannot use any sort of AS resources or supplies or, back in the day when we were really in real life, it would be you can't use blue tape, you can't use our paper. But now it's also about the resources. You can't use Zoom links that we own, meaning any of the publicity, trustee or president Zoom links, you got to use your own Zoom link. Any Instagram contacts, any names, any pages, if you are running, you need to make sure you clearly label yourself that you are a candidate running, because you have to understand the fact that those of you who are currently seated, people know that you have a role on AS. So that gives you a little bit of illusion of power that maybe another candidate does. So you need to make sure that you do not use that or abuse that role. So be very clear that you're running as a candidate. When you make your post in social media, anyone can post to PCC book sale. That's not a problem. But make sure you're not posting using vice president of so-and-so or president of so-and-so, right? Make sure that you're using your name and and identify yourself that you're running as a candidate. So we want to make sure that there's no impropriety, a conflict of interest, that you're using resources from your position as AS to gain another seat for the following year. Does that make sense to you all? Does anyone have any questions about where the line is on that? Okay, so please remember that. It always happens. I always have to yank a few of you back from jumping over the edge, but please be aware of that. Also, we're going to have town hall meetings coming up, so really appreciate the help. If anyone wants to come and help with that, be there. We're going to field questions, so if anyone wants to be there, let me know. And also share that information. A lot of you are in clubs and organizations. So there's that with elections. And the last thing is we are coming up again towards the end of the year, but we need to make sure that we still do activities and events. So I haven't seen meetings from a couple of you. So please make sure that if you haven't had a meeting, if you don't have anything to talk about, then that's fine. I get it. Don't force it. But if there's stuff coming up that you need to take care of, please make sure that you're posting a meeting and that you're including me in that as well. That's all I have. Thank you all.
Hi everyone, so sorry I was late. I'm having some Wi-Fi issues, but it's good to see you all. So just a couple of things, I'll make it quick. The first one is we're having the continuation of our Insurrection in America event. It's going to be May 13th from 12 to 2. It's going to talk about free speech and white supremacy, the difference between extremism versus civic engagement. There's going to be a couple of you. Actually, I'm going to email the entire board to see who's interested, but we're going to want some student feedback in regard to student engagement and student activism. So if any of you have participated in the in anything that is activist related, such as you know, writing your representatives all the way to protesting, stuff like that, please let me know so that way we can get a student panel going. Also, if you're interested, if any of your committee members are interested in that as well, please send me or Matt an email and we can go ahead and make that for you. There's going to be a couple of other events coming too, so I will keep you all posted. The second thing I'm trying to remember. Yeah, so following Carrie's election, little warning. Please make sure that there is a difference between business during meetings and business after meetings. Again, once the recording stops and the meeting is adjourned, y'all are free to talk about what you want to talk about as long as it's not during a recorded session. So please keep that in mind because you are held accountable to the public and you are still an elected official until June. Keep that in mind as well. I don't want to have to police you all. You all are adults. So yeah, just keep that in mind. Other than that, like Carrie said, please take care of yourselves during this time. You all are still in classes and you're still doing events and stuff that are really time consuming, and as well as doing things like Mackenzie said, being in person again, starting to do social distance in person. Please keep in mind, not everybody is vaccinated yet. So please be wary of those individuals and be wary of those and the CDC guidelines and everything. Other than that, please take care of yourselves, do some yoga, go outside, take a walk, drink water, drink lots and lots of water. And yeah, so thank
All right, thank you, Jordan. We can go ahead and move on then with the agenda. I believe we have no financial reports, right, Michael?
There hasn't been any changes to the AS account, so no report.
All right. We can go ahead and move on then to agenda item 4, shared governance discussion. If there's something that somebody mentioned in their reports that you need more clarification on, or if you want to further discuss something you heard during your shared governance, now's the time that you can go ahead and speak on it. I'll give you all a couple seconds to unmute yourselves if you have anything you'd like to say.
Actually, I did forget to mention one last thing. Okay. I actually want to shout Mackenzie out because yesterday during the Student Success Committee meeting, she asked all the powerful folks that were in that lobby on how students can be a lot more engaged. And it really does help when we forward our events to professors, especially Sheila Rose. I know Sheila Rose mentioned to directly send the information to her so that she can distribute it to the 80 plus professors that she has an alias with. So I just wanted to reiterate that to have like professors involved in the events and take their like advocacy into account, because I think professors also want to see folks succeed and be involved and somewhat like build a connection between participation. And yeah, so that's about it.
All right, thank you, Jasmine. Did anybody else have anything they wanted to add in on this item? No. Okay, on that note, we can go ahead and move on then with the agenda. Also, if I'm talking too low or my speed's anything wrong, just let me know and I'll adjust. Moving on then to action items. Action item A, Kyle, the floor is yours on this. And if you have the thing to pull up, it'll be quicker.
I don't have it pulled up because I thought you were going to pull it up, but it's okay. I can grab it. Give me a second.
Yeah, let me see if I have. Here we go.
All right, I have it. I can share it. Okay. Screen sharing, an option. Oh, you have it up? Okay, then you're fine. Okay, so this is the anti-discrimination, or this is the emergency clause. Are we going emergency clause or anti-discrimination?
Emergency.
Okay. All right, so this is the emergency clause. And there was no discussion on last time, so I don't know why it's up again. Did anyone have anything further they wanted to discuss on this?
You told me to put this up as an action.
Oh, yeah. Okay, good. I thought we were going to discussion. Okay, we're fine. Emergency clause. So if there's no discussion on this, I just want to note that this is really important. If there's ever another emergency that were to occur, this is going to be important, and it should have been sent to everybody so they have it. And with that said, I just want to approve this today because we want to put it on the ballot so we can have the pro con statements and the students can approve it.
I just want to say thank you to the Supreme Council and all the justices on the council for putting this together. This was also, besides the anti-discrimination amendment, this was the other big thing that they put blood, sweat, and tears in. And there was a lot of consultation and a lot of back and forth, and this is the final product. So thank you all for
Anyone got anything?
Kyle, you can make a motion.
Can I make the motion? I thought she had to entertain it before I make it.
No.
Okay.
No.
I just say it to get things moving.
Got it. So I want to make a motion to approve the emergency clause as it is presented here on the screen.
First.
So he first, so he's making the motion, so he needs a second.
Second.
All right, we have a first and a second. We can go ahead and bring this to a vote then. I have to do roll call order, correct?
Mm-hmm.
All right, we'll start off.
Define themselves.
Okay, we'll start off with Chris.
Aye.
Sorry, things are moving around my screen. Christina.
Aye.
Luis.
Aye.
There we go. Came back right on time. Michael.
Aye.
Alex.
Aye.
Jasmine.
Aye.
Philly.
Aye.
Kelly. Kelly.
Was trying to click on the okay. I.
There we go. You got it. Emmanuel.
Aye.
Kyle.
I abstain.
David.
Aye.
All right, motion passes with one abstention. Congratulations, it's been approved. We can go ahead and move on then to discussion items. Discussion item A, anti-discrimination amendment, which Kyle, the floor is yours again on this.
Okay, I can pull it up, but I can't do it if you're sharing.
Kyle,
You're good now.
I have to apologize to you. I'm sorry. I meant to work on it. I was the one that raised the objections and didn't give you any feedback.
It's
so I
all right.
apologize.
It's okay. We changed a couple of things, so it should be fine. So here we go. I was waiting on Carrie, which we never got, but we did discuss
Sorry.
it a lot during our meeting. So we're just bringing it back here to provide any other comments or concerns you guys have about it. So does anyone else have any discussion on this? Because I know last time we talked about how we wanted to add like modifiers to intersectionality, anti-bias, and equity. Are we still leaning towards that direction? Is there any other comments anyone has, or?
You might just want to say creating or recognizing intersectionality.
Okay.
By following its values towards recognizing intersectionalities, anti-bias actions, and equity, and embracing an equitable process. I mean, just trying to put like, yeah, modifiers before them. The big one would be just intersectionality. The other ones could probably work.
Okay. Any other comments? Discussion? Nothing.
Did y'all continue to discuss at the Supreme Council meeting or like during working groups about possibly adding footnotes or that additional manual that would have the list.
So we did talk about adding footnotes, and we also considered having quote unquote an informal list. An informal list would be for whoever is in the role of Chief Justice and for the whole body to have as like a reference point. Think about it like case law in the normal judicial sense, where if we want to look to how to interpret something, you look to this document. That was something we were considering. The additional consideration for anyone who wasn't at our meeting, which most of you weren't, was adding footnotes into the actual Constitution to explain what exactly that means. And Emmanuel brought up the idea at our meeting about talking about penal status. And we had a pretty lengthy discussion, about half an hour, about penal status. And we're actually having an open house on this amendment at our next meeting, which we're inviting ICC to. And I would recommend you all attend that as well. But on that topic, does anyone else have any discussion or questions?
I just want to make it clear, though, that it wasn't necessarily penal status, for the reason that, there's people who get expungements and it no longer exists on their record, as well as signed and sealed petitions. Just the simple idea that when it's shared, that someone has, a history or has been formally incarcerated, is now considered just as impacted, specifically with those biases that exist, that I think fall within systemic discrimination, and also I think aside from that, I had mentioned at the last meeting as well as the Supreme Council meeting, justice involved, but I think that definitely the better term would be justice impacted. And then, again, thank you all from Supreme Council for working on this. I think this is, this can be a pivotal change for our Constitution. Just want to remind you all that, we cannot undo systemic discrimination, but we can prevent it from happening on our campus, as it is a social problem that begins outside of our campus. So thank you again, and good job, y'all. I look forward to that next meeting, though.
So just branching off from that, what do you guys think would be a best option? Do we want to have some sort of, I guess the analogy would be case law that the Supreme Council would hold on to, and then whenever they have to interpret this and they question whether that applies to a certain instance, such as justice involvement, to use Emmanuel's term, you would have this list where they can reference it and then use that to interpret the anti-discrimination statement? Or do we believe that we should have a more formalized way of doing it, which would be through the footnotes? How does everyone feel about both those options?
Kyle, I think the former rather than the latter is the perfect idea, and that's just my opinion. Y'all can, but I think footnotes are going to be a little bit too much to put within the Constitution. I think having that sort of case law type model is the best way to do that. So that way, and then that can also lead to charge for other things as well that we might want to work on, or the council might want to work on next year, to try and sort of develop those types of things and keep it. But I think that's a great idea. And that's just me being a political science constitutional law.
Yeah, I agree with Jordan. I don't think it would be very effective to put footnotes on the Constitution. I think the more concise information, the better. And it's a lot more, and that information would be a lot more useful for the justice at the time. So thank you.
So we're leaning towards having a sort of case law model, and which is fine. And we're going to talk about that in more depth at our next meeting. We're inviting ICC and everyone here to come to talk about it, to discuss it in further depth. But with that said, I don't know if there's any other discussion, but if there is, speak now. Otherwise, we should probably move on to our next item.
Sorry, I didn't catch the date. When are you gonna be
So we
presenting
meet
this?
every other Thursday. So that would be next week on Thursday, and that's 8 in the morning.
Next Thursday at 8. Thank you.
Mhm.
Okay, I can go ahead and bring back up the agenda then. Sounds like we have no further discussion. Let me share screen. I almost brought up the wrong screen. All right. We can move on then to discussion item B, invited guests. We have none. Moving on, discussion item C, future events. Carrie, did you have anything you wanted to bring up with folks since we do have like an hour left?
So a couple things coming up. We have one more scavenger hunt that we purchased that we can do.
The escape room?
The escape room, yeah. So that's coming up. Kind of wanted to have you all participate in that. Is that something you all are interested in? I know I tried to arrange it in January, but just couldn't get everyone's schedule to mix. Is this something you want to do? Alex, I had emailed you asking if your committee would be interested in hosting this one. I don't know what your thoughts are on that.
I don't see. Oh, wait, hold up. Oh, you emailed my school email. I do
sorry.
see it. Blah, blah. Yeah, I'll be done.
Okay. So do we all want to discuss a date that works for you all? If you want to participate, or do you just want Alex to pick a date, like a Tuesday, Thursday date, and go with that? What are your opinions? You got to share them.
We want to do a doodle or something, or
I was hoping since we have an hour, we could talk about it. Part of it is I can make this open to the entire, with Alex doing, I want to make it open to the entire campus, but have you all go as a team. What day is most free for everyone?
I think Fridays.
Friday? You all have to tell me, so you all have to unmute and talk.
Fridays are best for me.
Friday.
Okay.
Monday.
Bro, my Mondays are filled. You know, I can make it work. If we do Monday, I'll make it work.
We do Monday. I got to cancel someone's meeting because I do 5 hours worth of meetings on Monday. So that's finance, campus activities, and lobby.
So no Monday.
And those aren't important.
Unless we do late nights, scavenger. Evening.
I would actually prefer late night because I know everyone has classes. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm saying.
But Carrie's got to get her linguine at 7, so can't be out today.
Usually it's 6:30.
Oh, 6:30.
But I can do evenings. I'll order out.
Just because that seems to be when more people are available. Like, at least I've noticed on Doodles, like when we were doing like the 5 o'clock options, those had like double the people than we did like 10 a.m.
Ain't nobody gonna wake up at 10 a.m.
I'm just giving it time. I'm not saying we're gonna do 10 a.m. I'm trying to sleep. Do you see these eyes? I'm trying to sleep. Just don't do 8.
No, please.
Just normal time.
Unless you want to see me in my pajamas. So are we talking, what are we talking about then? Friday evening, Monday evening, Wednesday evening?
Other people who haven't spoken yet, when are y'all free? If y'all can just show up whenever, you can say that too.
Honestly, I don't know. I just started a new job and the schedule's kind of weird. So I have no idea when I'm free.
Thank you for at least telling us that much.
I commit my entire life to Starbucks, so I need to know in advance, well in advance.
We're trying to book 2 to 3 weeks out, so that should be enough.
I know in the chat, Jasmine and Luis said Friday, just in case no one's looking at the chat, but.
Okay, so Friday. Okay, so Not Friday the 14th because that's elections. Do we want to do Friday the 21st?
Yeah.
And when we
Sure.
say
That could work.
when we say evening, what type of evening are we talking?
Definitely
5 to
after
6.
school. Yeah. 5 to 6. I'm like, it has to be past that time.
Okay. So I'm going to email Bonnie, his scheduler. So we want to, Alex, and this is what we're, so I'm tossing this to you, Alex.
Okay.
Friday, I wish we can get food. Oh, are you all vaccinated?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh. Would you all want to come to campus? I wonder if I could let you, maybe we can all meet at a park.
Yes.
Yes.
Is
And we
I
can,
need,
President Biden has just released guidance that we are
exactly.
allowed to.
If we're outside, I kind of want to just have you come on campus and sit on the back porch, and I know I'll get in trouble. Every time I ask for that, they tell me no.
If you want, I can ask Dr. Jonas herself on Monday and get special permission.
Just ask her. So hey, so now that we're updating, AS would like to have a face-to-face meeting because we've not ever had one. Would
I
you
mean,
guys
if
like-
she's willing to literally invite us to their face-to-face meet, I think we would be allowed. I don't know.
we could have it outside on the loading dock and clearly spread you all out, and you're all vaccinated.
Hey, Carrie, I think if yesterday's staff meeting proved anything, it's as long as we do stuff on campus, as long as she doesn't know about it, we're fine.
Oh, wow.
She said the loading dock though. Like what?
That's our favorite hideaway spot, right? Okay, so let's
I'm down.
at least talk, because then we'll have Wi-Fi. So either we'll be in the Wi-Fi lot as a group, or we'll be we got to be someplace where there's Wi-Fi. So okay, all right. So I'm gonna tell you all, put it on your calendar. Alex, please put it on your calendar. It's going to be May 21st, 5 to 6. Let me email Bonnie. And so we need to start. That's 3 weeks. Philly, can we start publicity on this? I think that meets your 3 weeks. 3 weeks just barely meets your 3 weeks requirement. Kelly, what's wrong with you? Are you alive? Okay.
she's fine.
I'm like
Internally.
internally. Okay. So then that's set with that. The other thing too, I want you to start thinking about is your end of the year celebration. So how do you want to do that? What do you want to do? Kind of it's passing the torch to the new board, right? Steak. Dean Cobb would really appreciate that. So in the past, you've assigned someone to do this. Does someone want to volunteer to be in charge of your end of the year banquet? We don't know exactly what it is, but yeah, something like that.
I can. I would
Okay,
like to.
Alex. Does anyone want to help, Alex?
I can
Wait,
help.
did I just hear end of the year banquet?
Yeah.
Oh, I can help. I can help.
Yay.
So what it is traditionally, you all as a board usually invite your committee members and you give them awards and thank yous. And then the new board comes in and you kind of pass the torch. And you shake, well, and when we were in person, we'd shake hands, you would invest, the things you didn't get. So we're hoping, I don't know, let's right now just start planning something and we will see what the restrictions come up, right? So
Could we potentially rent out some sort of venue at like a hotel? Because I don't know how easy it would be for us to get the Circadian, or especially not the Krevling Lounge.
yeah, that's the thing.
Because I know we did that for our retreat last year.
Yeah, let's look at that. Let's look at see if there are rooms. So you can think of a hotel. You can also think of veterans halls. Just look up hall. Why don't you all look up some spaces that we can rent out? And in that case, it's probably gonna have to be catered food. It gets very expensive at that point, although you have a little bit of money. Maybe back rooms at restaurants. A bowling alley would be really fun.
Just use Andy's down the street.
Andy's, we can go to Andy's. There's also across the street, I don't know what that restaurant, it used to be a sushi, and it was a sushi place. It was a faux place. It's got the black brick with the gate on it. Does anyone know what I'm talking about across the street? They have a back room. So maybe we rent out the back room. But we would probably have to keep it really small if that's the case. But please, you two get together, sketch out a bunch of ideas. Go crazy, but then be prepared with plan B, plan C, right? According to what we can do. Christina. Plans A through H, yeah, more than likely. So, and if any of you have helpful ideas, yeah, we're not the Rams, Kelly. We can't rent out a $17 million Malibu mansion for draft day. But think about it. The main purpose is to hand over, to celebrate the end of your year, to thank your committee members, and hand over the reins to the next group, okay? And generally we do this after graduation because you all are so crazy with everything else. So it would be sometime like the week of the 20th would be the best time to do it. No, because that's right, because you're going to be in Korea.
Sucks to suck. Sorry.
I don't know if we should have any sympathy for you because you will be like eating amazing food in Korea.
I'll be there in spirit. Have fun, guys.
And me things from
Wait,
Daiso.
Christina, you're Korean?
No.
Oh.
I'm just going there for the summer, but
She
yes.
won the lottery, and so she's going to spend her summer in Korea.
Oh, that's so cool. So lucky.
Said ours.
Tell me that you'll come back with a Korean boyfriend. Sorry, are we recording right now? Yes, we are. Okay.
We're still in recording, y'all.
Who actually
Wish her well.
Francis will have a fun time.
Please just come back speaking better Korean. That would be my goal. That would be my goal from you.
Okay.
Korean. So, all right. So, are we all clear on that kind of thing as a future activity? Jordan, do you all need any help with the insurrection?
I still have to meet with Matt to discuss exactly what the 13th event is going to be. The other two will be okay. The last one for sure. I don't know what that's going to look like. But for this one that's coming up, I'm just gonna, so this is, I guess, going to be my official verbal call out for students that are involved in activism or that are activists. So I know Jasmine and Emmanuel and David, you all have been active with student rights and student sort of the difference between, I don't know if you've seen any extremists or been involved in all of that. So if you all want to get involved, I will write an email up to you all just to see. We're just going to try to get a student panel and talk about student activism and what that looks like at PCC. And then as far as the other stuff goes, Carrie, I still need to meet with Matt, and then we were going to email you and Dean Cobb.
Okay. Let me know if I can help, but especially if you want to loop in AS with any of this. So to wrap up, we've got events coming up. We've got Kelly's doing federal legislation and federal office visits. Louise, which I'm looking for her name, we lost. Oh, she left. She had to go leave. Louise is doing the student services. Kyle is finishing up with the last changes of the Constitution. Michael has got an event coming up. Michael, what day did we all decide on that?
We were saying the 21st of May, so.
21st of May, okay, and that's going to be a career panel for finance members, people who want to go into finance and accounting. What else? Who else is doing something? Jasmine, you're doing open mic night for API, APITA folks. Alex, are you doing a movie? Okay, this is the other thing. I was told right now drive-through events are possible. Drive-in is a no-go. So there's no-go on drive-ins, which I'm really sorry about. But Right now, it's not happening. Chris is doing ICC, and Alex, are you doing anything? What else are we talking about doing? Because it's been a while since we've met.
There is an event that's in the works right now with the career communities. A member from my committee and a member from Louis' committee are in correspondence with Sheila Rose to be working on that. That should be like a series taking place in late May. Other than that, I feel like I have one other thing going on that will be also in like late May, but that the person that is working on that hasn't gotten back to me. So it's gonna be like a kind of like a mental health reset type of challenge thing. It'll be like a week-long challenge that we propose to our students, and then there'll be like prizes associated with it. But we're still working on the details for that one.
Okay. Can I encourage you to connect with Veer, because they're going to be doing a bunch of things. So let's not have to like reinvent, like maybe make her event one of your events for that week, so you're not reinventing the wheel.
Okay.
Okay. So as we're coming up, I know it's been difficult with ARFs. We're still learning the ropes on that between Shanina and myself. But again, don't forget to submit ARFs for that. So at least we have the Zoom link and I know what's going on. And we're getting that turned in. So other than that, do you all know that who knows what your last day in office is? Kyle, you should know, you've read the Constitution.
Mine is June 1st, counting the days.
No. Oh. So you're gonna have to take care of making sure the new person gets in. So don't forget, you all are working through technically into July 1st is your last day technically with your paychecks, but we're gonna probably do a swearing in. You have to swear the new group in 2 weeks after the last day of class, which is June 21st. So 2 weeks to that actually goes to July 5th. So maybe we shoot for July 30th investiture of everybody. And everyone except for Christina will be around. So I know that's a big sigh, Michael. Mackenzie, what I need you to do, because this is really you and your board, you need to decide who's going to be around the last couple of peace out, David. Who's going to be around, because you need to make sure that that's what's going to happen, because your committee still meets. Your committee, your board still meets. Okay, so let's make sure everyone's organized. These are kind of like the last tail end things. And Mackenzie, it's going to fall to you to make sure people put stuff in those damn Google folders.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're left with some details about what's going on. Okay.
Yeah, I'm telling everyone now, if you don't have actual items to leave, like documents, leave a letter, leave advice, leave something. Just little notes. Because I didn't even get the letter I was promised.
I just remembered our annual board of trustees meeting and associate students meeting is this next month on May, let me see, I think it's on May 9th. Let me see, let me double check. But we have an annual meeting with our board of trustees where we present the highlights of our year in each of your respective positions. So they haven't really told me anything about it, so I don't think they remember, but we need to get a presentation started. So we should probably set up a study session meeting so that we can work on this specifically outside of our regular meeting time. So I will probably send a doodle tonight.
Yes, so what that means is all of you need to look back on your year and create 1 or 2 PowerPoint slides about what you did. If you've got pictures, if you've got thoughts, do that and come prepared, because not everything makes it into the slideshow, but it will be there. So then at that meeting, that's where you're all going to decide what you need to highlight on and what you need to speak on. Okay, and not everyone speaks. So usually it's a small, what happens as you go, and it's a meeting, joint meeting. and they do some introductions. AS does a short slideshow. Yes, please, May 19th, mark it on your calendars right now. It's going to be by Zoom. You'll get the link. You all will be there. Not all of you will speak. And then based on your decisions at this meeting that David's going to send out, you'll put together a PowerPoint and folks will speak probably 3 to 5 minutes max on what you've done for the year. Yeah, I was thinking 6 p.m. is kind of early. 7 p.m. is usually when they start. So 7 p.m. on the 19th, mark your calendars. Okay, that's really it. I've got, anything else from folks? Meetings?
I was gonna say ICC banquet, but it seems like every time I try to hold one, like it just.
I'm not.
I mean, we don't have to have one.
I'm not sure. I don't know. I mean, that's the thought, to think of what do you want to do.
I know.
I don't think we
I
can
guess
get
I
away
could put
with.
it down on the next.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
I just don't know if that's fair, not seeing that other years have gotten it, but I don't know. We can talk about it. Maybe I'll add on it as an agenda item during my meeting.
Yeah. Okay, so a couple transitions that we forgot about. Did you all get the notice about Rosemead?
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm curious how that all went down. I'm not sure who dropped the ball in negotiations, but Rosemead is no more. They're given a week. I found out about it last week, Thursday, and it's hard because that staff hasn't been in that space for a year. So they're now desperately trying to clear out. Chris was there. They're pulling stuff down and trying to get rid of 7 years worth of stuff in 6 days because they have to be out by Friday. So it's really sad. So too late to protest.
Can we protest?
Too late. El Monte's already got the keys. The sheriff's already come, put the notice on the door. We've been evicted. So
it's barricade.
So I wasn't sure, David. Yeah, you may know more about than I do. I just wasn't sure if El Monte was doing this or if it was us.
It was, well, from my understanding, it was either PCC helps pay for a entirely new building for El Monte to use mostly, or we get out. So they basically wanted PCC to pay for renovations for a program that El Monte was going to be able to use. They're basically going to take over the building and only let PCC use a couple of the classrooms. And they wanted PCC to pay for it. So
I don't get, we offered to buy the building for them. They could have walked away with a nice chunk of change and bought another building. But, I don't know. Okay. So there's that. And sadly, that's coming to an end. The other thing is, some of you may have had the pleasure of working with Dr. Micaela Maras Tamayo. Her last day is Friday. She's transitioning out. She's not going far. She will be the new Chief Diversity Officer at Polytechnic School just down the street across from Caltech. That school definitely needs some diversity. So I'd encourage you all to drop her an email or a text, if she meant something to you in your life or if you had a great experience with her, please just send something out because
I actually have something related to that.
Okay, what do you have?
I just got emailed today from Natalie saying that if so there's like a Google form that we can all leave little notes in for Micaela. She's organizing it so that we can just leave some messages for her, and they're gonna have a surprise farewell virtual party next week. So if anyone wants to go to that, I'll forward this email to all of you. I got it this morning during class, so I didn't read the full thing till now. But basically, we can send her some nice messages and just a little farewell.
Yes, so please include me on that because I haven't heard about that, but definitely it's a transition that's bittersweet. I'm happy for her, but sad at the same time. So there's that trend. So those are the two transitions. And also I sent you all an email that Dean Cobb sent me for Dr. Brown's memorial, the Zoom link, and she just emailed me right now and told me that's the wrong day. So when the correct date comes out for Dr. Brown's funeral, I'll forward that on to you in case you want to go. Okay. So lots of transitions, lots of things changing. Oh, one other thing I forgot, speaking of transitions, just so you all know, that there's been a lot of discussion and negotiation around the flea market. As you know, it was homegrown, organic, and now it's the college is trying to bring it into compliance with kind of rules and regulations. And so the decision has been made to move the flea market to the foundation as of July. Jordan, July 1st or June 1st?
July 1st, officially, we will be, out of the OSL.
Yeah, so sadly, that means Lindsay will be moving. Jordan, you're moving with as well? Are you staying?
We can talk about that later. Okay. I haven't really said anything.
Okay. So
I haven't talked to you or Becky about it.
Okay, so things are up in the air. I'm not really sure what's going on. I know that the flea market staff will be going. That's why I thought, Jordan, you're part of flea market, so I wasn't sure. But Lindsay will be transitioning over. So again, those of you that knew Lindsay might also want to send her a quick note. It's bittersweet. This one is really hard for all of us. Wow, there's a lot of shit going on this month, but yeah, so that's kind of a sad thing. So please, wish her well or say some kind words. And she's really good with text messages and emails. So other than that, God, Jordan, is there any other changes that I forgot from the staff meeting?
No, I think we don't have an answer yet to if students are going to be held accountable to the same staff member wristband thing, Carrie. So I know Dean Cobb is still working on that. I don't know if any of you have heard, but for staff members, we are going to be required on next week to come onto campus 3 days a week. But every day that we're on campus, we need to do a self check-in, and then we need to do a check-in at other areas on campus to get what's called a wristband. And we need to wear the wristband all day, which means that we're allowed to be on campus. I asked if you students are going to be held to the same standard, and I haven't gotten an answer yet. So once we find that out, I'm pretty sure Dr. Cobb, Carrie, or I will send out a notification to you all just so that way you're aware. And again, that's out of our hands. It's an HR thing now, but just make sure. Carrie, do they have to fill out the symptom checker when they come on the campus too?
Yes, you all should be doing the symptom checker, and I don't see any checks on the sign-in sheet next to your names. So please do the symptom checker. That was something we agreed to that you would all do. Also, when you all sign in, you need to make sure you put your date down next to the date that you're signing in. And I believe Dr. Olivo has said that we can eliminate the temperature check. She said because no one else is doing temperature checks. So right now what I'm doing is I am putting you all I'm putting this list into Canvas, not Canvas, what do you call it? 25 Live, so that you'll be listed as having building access. I think for right now, we'll just continue to notify one of us and we'll let you in. You complete the self-check board at the front desk and we'll go from there. I told folks I was reluctant to put you all through the same process that staff is going to do, mainly because the time it is, you have to check in between 7 and 9. And I forget what the second time was, but also I don't want you, they tend to give you all a hard time because you're students, even though you're signed up. So hopefully we can just, you're the only, by the way, you are the only students who are allowed on campus. So please make sure that you follow all of the agreed protocols that we had, because you all are the beta. And if they find that we're slacking or something happens, then that can be all taken away. So please make sure you follow through with all the agreements that we have. If we tell you you have to go check in and get your wristband, then that's fine. But a lot of times I feel like because you all come in and you stay in, you're all okay. Okay. Oh yeah, and I also forgot Dr. Bush is leaving on Friday. Very sad. And Candace is now replacing him. So lots of changes, lots of changes. Whew, Francis, I hope you can keep up with all that. So, All right, that's all I really wanted to bring up with future stuff that's happening. So, Mackenzie, anyone else?
I want to say we covered everything.
I mean, I'll be brief. Short announcement. On Friday, I'm having a Jeopardy game for my pre-law club, and I think this is this for announcement section. Or
No, we're still on future events.
It is a future event.
We'll get
to
you.
AS future events.
We'll get to you. Let's get to the point. Let's get closed. Hey, Mackenzie, I really need your election committee people.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to just send them to me.
Yeah, I just got some names of people who were interested, but I had 4 people, so I was going to talk with you about how I was going to narrow that down.
Okay, we can talk after this. So let's keep going. That way Kyle can make his announcement and we can hear about Jeopardy.
Okay. So we can move on then. AS training, we have none. Appointment to college-wide committees, none at the moment. Does anybody have any AS committee appointments to make? No. Moving on to bill acceptance, I believe we have none. Approval of ICC funding, believe we have none. Public comment on non.
We have 2.
Have some.
Oh, we have some? Okay, backtrack. Huh.
We have 2. I'm on my phone, so I can't exactly share it, but I know off the top of my head what they are. We approved $1,300 for Student California Teachers Association to have a speaker come during their Teacher Appreciation Week. And we had another request come in from Pi Club, who it was pretty contested. I won't get into it, but they want us to pay for a subscription for them to have a website. We are willing to pay for half because they wanted 2 years and we're only willing to do 1. So yeah, we gave them $180 for that. But those are the only 2 requests.
All right, fingers. And then we don't need to do anything, right?
No action needed because you blanket approved his.
Okay. Now we can go ahead and move on with the agenda. Let's see, public comment on agenda items. Pretty sure we don't have any, but can somebody please check the YouTube for me to double check if we have any comments? Because we never know.
Hold on. No one is watching but me.
Okay, moving on to announcements. Kyle, now you can speak.
Okay. So my pre-law club on Friday, we're having a Jeopardy game. There's going to be prizes. So if any of you guys want to play Jeopardy, learn about the law, and also test your legal knowledge, both on the process and how the law works, definitely consider coming Friday. And that is at 12 p.m. What do we do? No, wait, we switched to 7 p.m. on Friday. Okay.
All right. Anybody else have any announcements they'd like to make?
Does anyone want to see the graphic I made, or do you want to save that for after?
Gary, you can do that now or after.
Okay, sounds good.
Let's do after.
Anybody else have an announcement? Okay. I forwarded y'all that email with the Google form for Michaela. That's all I got for my announcements. Last call, I'll give y'all 3 seconds if anyone else has an announcement to make. So every time I say we're done, there's always somebody. Okay, now we're moving on. Future meeting dates and times, May 25th. Make sure you send me any agenda items and supplemental items that go with those by the 29th, 11:59. Y'all know the drill. And on that note, I'd like to go ahead and entertain a motion to adjourn this meeting at 1:28 p.m.
So moved.
I second.
All right, we have a first and a second. Do we have any opposed? Any abstentions? No? Meeting adjourned. Let's get off this live. Thank y'all for coming. End it down there. My Zoom disappeared.